Hey everyone, welcome back to the Banana Thumbnail Podcast, where we bring thumbnails to life to crush the competition. Today we've got something really cool. Absolutely, we're diving into the 9 AI thumbnail mistakes that could be tanking your views. I can't wait to hear about these, right? It's so important to get this right because, believe it or not, 60% of our brains are wired for visual processing. That means before someone even reads your video title, they've already judged it based on the thumbnail. Whoa, that's a big deal. So if the thumbnail's not eye-catching, you're already at a disadvantage? Exactly. And I see so many creators getting excited about AI tools, which is great, but there are some common pitfalls that can really wreck your click-through rates. For example, did you know that messing up your specs can drop your clicks by 35% on mobile? That's a massive chunk of your audience gone. Wow, that's pretty drastic. So what are some of the main mistakes people are making? Let's start with one of the biggest ones, blurry thumbnails. You wouldn't put a lawnmower engine in a Ferrari, right? But many creators are doing the digital equivalent. Haha, yeah, that makes no sense. What's the resolution mistake that people make? A lot of beginners are uploading images that are way too small, often under 640 pixels wide. The gold standard for YouTube is 1280 by 720 pixels. If you go lower, the compression makes it look terrible. So, you really need to pay attention to that resolution. What about aspect ratios? I've seen a lot of weird-shaped thumbnails out there. Great point. YouTube requires a 16:9 aspect ratio, but many AI art generators default to square or 3:4 formats. If you upload a square image, you'll end up with those ugly black bars on the sides. It looks so amateurish. That's frustrating. So how can creators avoid that issue? Alex, you need to make sure you set your AI generator to produce in 16:9 from the get-go. If you're using tools like Midjourney or Adobe Firefly, you have to adjust that setting. Got it. And what about the dreaded AI slop? I've heard about this, and it sounds like a huge problem. Oh, it definitely is. We're talking about images that look technically impressive but feel completely empty. There's actually a phenomenon where 47% of intermediate creators see a drop in clicks because their thumbnails look too fake. So it's like the uncanny valley effect for thumbnails? Exactly. If the face in your thumbnail looks too glassy or plastic, viewers will scroll right past it. You need that human element to connect with people. Makes sense. So how do you balance AI with that human touch? Well, I recommend layering in real textures or expressions. AI images often lack contrast too, which can make them blend into the YouTube background. You need that pop. Try using tools like Canva or Photoshop to boost saturation and contrast. That sounds like a solid strategy, but what about file sizes? I've heard there's a limit. Yes, YouTube has a strict 2 meg limit for thumbnails. If you create a highly detailed AI image and it ends up being 5 megabytes, it's going to get rejected. Plus, that can really frustrate users with slow connections. So I guess sticking to JPGs is the way to go for those thumbnails? Definitely. JPGs compress better than PNGs for thumbnails. Just make sure you keep it under that 2 megabyte cap for quality. Got it? Got it. Now, I've got to ask, what are your thoughts on mobile viewers? I know that's a huge audience. Absolutely. Mobile devices are where most people watch videos. If your thumbnail doesn't work there, you're in trouble. The right side of your thumbnail can get covered by the timestamp or channel icon, so make sure important elements are positioned accordingly. That's smart. And what about readability? Good question. What looks good on a large monitor might be a blurry mess on a phone. I always check thumbnails at 10% zoom before I upload. If I can't tell what it is at that size, I scrap it and start over. That's a great tip. Now, you mentioned MrBeast earlier. What can we learn from his approach to thumbnails? MrBeast didn't just throw up a random image. He used A/B testing to boost his views significantly. His strategy is a mix of custom images and real emotion, which is super effective. So he's using both AI and his own content? Exactly. Many marketers are now employing a hybrid approach. Generate a background with an AI tool, but use a real photo of yourself for that human touch. It's the best of both worlds. Love that idea. And what about color? Does that impact thumbnails too? Definitely. AI often outputs technically correct colors that are emotionally dull. You want bright, vibrant colors to make your thumbnails pop. That's fascinating. So is it just about making it look good? It's about psychology too. Studies show that poor contrast can lead to lost clicks. Also, never trust an AI to add text to your thumbnails. Always add it separately to keep it crisp and readable. Great advice. So, to wrap up, what should creators focus on moving forward with their thumbnails? Just pay attention to your specs, file size, and keep that human element alive in your designs. Make sure your thumbnails look impressive, especially on mobile. Awesome. That's a lot of valuable info. Thanks for breaking it down for us, Alex. No problem. I hope listeners find this helpful. And that's a wrap for this episode of the Banana Thumbnail Podcast. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you in the next one.